Georgia Tech defensive line might really be a problem this year. Today we discuss what Coach Kyle Pope had to say and why this defensive line could raise havoc in 2026. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Y'all bear with me. I might be a little bit rusty. I ain't done it in a couple of weeks, but we're going to get back on the fray and do it the right way. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, please, and hype up the video. Make sure you share it and tell a friend. But today we're talking about Georgia Tech in that defensive line. How good could it be, right, this upcoming season? And I think the expectations are pretty high. When we talk about Georgia Tech, they invested a lot into this defensive line for it to be good this year, right? Coach Key, look at Coach Kyle Pope, Coach Jess Simpson. They went into the portal, added guys in, right? And I think they were very intentional about what they wanted to do. And last year just did not cut it. I think the biggest difference this year is for Georgia Tech. They have depth at the defensive line spot, right? It ain't just the stars. It ain't just the Noah Carters and Jordan Walkers, right? I also asked Coach about the second year players and the freshmen. He talked about Jordan Woods, he talked about Alex Willis, right? But he also talked about Andre Fuller, the Montre Bradfords, the Jordan boys, right? That depth is going to play a key piece, right? Because Noah Carter can't go 80, 90 snaps every single game. Neither can Jordan Walker. Yes, do they have the physical frame and specimen in order to do so? 1000% yes. But the issue is they're not going to be able to do that all throughout the season. And one of the biggest gripes that Georgia Tech has been struggling with is when their stars go out, or like when Jordan Vandenberg went out, or Kilo Stone went out, right? The defense wasn't the same on the interior of the defensive line, or even at the edge rusher position. So that to me makes a big difference. I think this year they finally have that with AJ Hoffler in there, Braden Manley in there rotating in, right? And I think they have a much better group overall that can affect the game. Now, the biggest thing to watch for is how good will they be on the run defense, right? Can they be better gap sound? Can they have better gap integrity? Those things are going to matter because instead of looking at second and four, second and three, second and twos, you could be looking at second and eight, second and nine, second and tens if they go and they be able to secure the outside gap, right? So that part is going to be very important. But I do want to play a clip of what Kyle Pope had to say in terms of where he wants this group to be ideally at the end of fall camp. So we're going to roll the clip of what I was able to capture yesterday, being obviously there at Georgia Tech camp. Coach, I know this is just the second week of fall camp, but ideally, where do you want to see this group at the end of fall camp as you kind of prepare and towards the end, you're getting ready for the season? Where do you want to see this group achieve and be at?
Man, great question. I think right now for us, as we finish this fall camp, we walk off the field at last practice. I want everybody to see, hey, we're a fast and violent group. Not just a fast and violent group, but we're a group that's grown. We're a group that right now, you can't look at us and say, hey, there's expectations. Look at us and say, hey, these guys are exceeding any expectations for this group. And I think that's the biggest thing. You don't go get depth for nothing. You don't go get experience for nothing to go out there and be the same group. It's time for us to get to level 2 of things. Level 1, bam, we mastered it. We're good. We understand the X's and O's. We understand to be what we're supposed to be. Now, let's go execute at a different level and in a detailed manner to where we got no choice but to be successful. And I think that's the biggest thing. I'm looking for this group to grow. Not just them, but I'm going to grow with them. And that's what I'm excited about a lot. It's a high expectation for this group, and I'm ready for it every week this year.
Y'all heard it right there from the lion's mouth, right? Raising the level, executing at a different level, being more detailed mannered, right? That was some of the biggest things I caught from this press conference of what he had to say. And I think, like I said, the bar has been raised, right? And I believe Georgia Tech. Some people feel like they're overrated. Some people feel like they're not. I feel like they're underrated, right? When you look at most polls, they're not going to be nationally ranked. When you look at most polls going into the season, they're going to be kind of slept on a little bit. And last year they had a really good season, went 9-4, right? No Haynes King, but this year it's even bigger to see can they take a step forward, right? Because everybody's like, oh, it was the Haynes King show, but this team was much bigger than Haynes King last year, even if so. Right, I know he was ACC Player of the Year, ACC Offensive Player of the Year. He's elite. He's good. We saw what he did in the preseason game with the Carolina Panthers against Arizona. But at the same time, this team is much bigger than that. And I think this year the premise that's going to make them much better is the defensive line, right? When you have those guys flying around, when you have like I won't say what I saw at fall camp, but when you have guys that are 6'5", 6'6", and the defensive line is making your linebackers look smaller, that tells me all I need to know. That one, they didn't play around. One, they're going to be physical. One, they're going to demand the line of scrimmage. And three, they're going to finally be able to make those plays consistently. So if you are a Georgia Tech fan, I would be excited, right? I would be happy because I know deep down, we have a team and a roster that can compete and contend in the ACC. And some might feel like it's weaker. Some may feel like it's top heavy with Miami and maybe SMU in there, throwing obviously Louisville and BT. But I feel like Georgia Tech has all the things that they're going to need in order to make a big difference this year and make plays consistently at a very high level. And like I said, I think it starts with their defense, right? Like I can show you guys another one. I won't pull up the interview, but you guys saw the presser yesterday with Jordan Walker. You see how much of a specimen obviously he is, right? And obviously we don't want to gloat on that, but him taking his body seriously, him taking the play call seriously, and like I said, he knows he's good, but he's going to have a big time impact this year for Georgia Tech. And if he's as advertised and he plays how we know he can play, that's going to be a problem for opposing offensive lines because to what Coach Pope said and what Hoffler said, they can rotate guys in, right? So this guy's going to always be fresh. Noah's going to always be fresh. Andre Fuller's going to always be fresh, right? And I don't think Georgia Tech has had that type of ability in terms of rotating guys in and not missing a beat at all on the defensive line. Like we haven't even mentioned Christian Garrett. We didn't even mention Tawfiq Thomas, who's a problem in itself. And the one thing I want to mention is throughout the spring, throughout the summer, and now going into fall camp, all we keep hearing is this defensive line is dominating. This defensive line is causing problems, right? And it's a good thing because it's going to get this offensive line better, right? Now we heard about from Coach Key that the right guard spot's a little bit up for grabs, right? Markel Samuel and Malachi Carney are competing for that spot, but we know about Jamison Riggs. You know what I'm saying? That is who AJ Hoffman mentioned. We know obviously about Ethan McKinney, who he says got much better, right? We know about Kevin P, KP, how good he's going to be, and then Joseph Ionata on the inside. So going up against this defensive line, the underrated part we're not talking nearly enough about is how much better this offensive line should be. Yes, some of these guys don't have starter minutes. Yes, some of these guys have not played college football in terms of being, a starter. But at the same time, they're getting this experience and they're going up against a really good defensive line that's going to only make them better. So when they face Miami, maybe in the ACC championship game, or they face a really good Virginia Tech squad with Kamari Copeland as the interior defensive lineman, right? Or when they face Louisville, who has some of the players they have like Cleve Lubin and some of those guys on the edge rush position, they're going to be ready because look at what they face every single day in practice, every single day in fall camp, every single day in spring, going up against guys like this, right? Going up against guys like Christian Garrett, like Tawfiq. It's only going to make them better in the end. So I think for them, I think they're going to reach this next level. I think they're going to be really good and go for quite some time. And I think this is a team that's potent. I think they have everything they need in order to be dangerous this upcoming year, man. And I think it starts with the defensive line, right? And we saw the investment that Coach Key made, not just defensively, also offensively, you know what I'm saying, on the offensive line. So they want to dominate this line of scrimmage, man. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna have a lot of questions answered in the spring, obviously, of course. I mean not spring, excuse me, in week one and obviously this season. But I think they have everything they need, barring any injuries, barring anything unforeseen happening in order to dominate. And I think you have to be really impressed with the defensive line for Georgia Tech. And I think they're gonna be a problem throughout this upcoming season, man. So it's continuing to be the same thing that we've talked about. And I think seeing up close and personal, man, they have major or they're going to give other teams major issues. So I'm excited. I think Georgia Tech fans should be excited. And like I said, outside of Georgia Tech in the national landscape, they're not going to know what's going to hit them, unfortunately. Unless you were an insider for Georgia Tech and you covered the scene religiously and a lot in your local media, you're not going to know what the hell is going to hit you. And that part makes it fun and it makes it scary for other people. So, real tech fan, be excited because this team's going to be really good, especially at the edge rusher position and with a lot of potential. So, look the hell out. But that's it for today's video. Appreciate you guys tuning in again. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, join, and become a member today. I appreciate all you guys' support through this tough time and the condolences from my mom. It has been a lot, but trying to just get steady back with you guys and continue to produce content and videos. Much love, and I'll see you guys in the next video.